Hello guys, welcome back to our channel, the mathematics class under Jovian King online at YouTube. In this video, I want us to take number as a topic, number and numeration. First of all, let's go with the definition according to the Oxford Dictionary that a number is a word or figure that represents an amount or quantity. That is synonymous to figure. Do you know a number is like a common English we normally use every day? But let's look into number in academic terms. That's why I came up with numbers and numeration. Okay, in this video I would like to take you around numbers, the world of numbers. Like you have several numbers, you have different classification of numbers, and we show you, I even tell you that, do you know this type of number exists? Please, if you're new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like our video, and place your comments. Have you heard that number has a meaning, or have you just on your own take up number like, let me think of this thing, number, figure? Just comment below. As you watch my video, please do not forget to share with your friend. We have the classification of numbers. We have the whole numbers, and whole numbers are numbers that are non-negative. Non-negative means they don't have any minus attached to them. Non-negative, which means it's from 0, 1, 2, 3 to infinity. These are whole numbers. Then the second classification of numbers, we have the natural numbers. And natural numbers are numbers we use in counting. We don't use 0 in counting. We start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to infinity. When you're talking of full numbers and natural numbers, we are talking of sets. So when you talk of sets, you mean a collection of objects. Set is in form of a collection of objects called element of a set or members of a set. So when you're talking of whole numbers, you denote the set of whole numbers with W and the set of natural numbers with N. So when you want to put this in form of a set now, what you have to do is, another classification of formula as we say is the negative number. Negative numbers, as the name implies, are numbers with a negative sign. You have -6, -5, -4, -2, -1, and what have you. When you look close there, you see that our infinity sign is not here. It's here before the -6. To tell you that negative numbers are less than 0. This means that 0 is greater than any negative number, even -1 million. 0 is greater than -1 million. So if you're drawing a number line, it means 0. Then you start counting 1. So your number line goes this way. If it's a number line, you have your -1, -2, -3, and so on. Another classification of number we have is the integer. And they say that integers are numbers that do not involve fraction. Numbers that are not fractions. So from -1 million, minus anything, down to positive 1 million. Okay, let me just break it down. We have from minus, okay, let's use the table this now. We have the -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All these things are integers because they do not involve fraction. Another thing you have to notice is that the set of an integer is represented with Z, the letter Z. Next classification are the rational numbers. Rational numbers, these are numbers that can be expressed in form of fraction or ratio. Let's take for example 2/3. In ratio we call 2/3 2:3. So all these things are rational numbers. So they say that rational numbers also include all these decimals, recurring decimal, and all integers are rational numbers, and even all fractions are rational numbers. Another one, you have to know that the set of rational numbers are denoted with Q. When you see Q, you know they are talking of set of rational numbers. Another classification we have is the irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are numbers that cannot be expressed as the quotient of two integers. I think This is somehow confusing. Remember that I told you about integers. Integers are numbers from minus anything down to the positive. All these things are integers. So let's take for example now an integer like 2 now. And they say that they cannot be expressed as the quotient. Quotient is the answer you get, like let's say for example 12 over 3. 12 divided by 3 gives you 4. So this is now the quotient. This is the two integers now. So irrational numbers are numbers that cannot be expressed as quotients of two integers. So this means that irrational numbers are numbers like anything sod root 2, this one 2, anything root 2 now, root 5, root this one, root this, root that. So all these things are irrational numbers. They cannot be expressed as they cannot be expressed as the quotient of two integers. So let's say for example the sods. When you press your sod in the calculator, sod 2, sod 5, sod any sod, all sod are irrational numbers. And that thing I want you to notice is that irrational numbers, when you get the quotient, you cannot exactly convert it back to the integer. Like root 2 now, when you press in your calculator, it will give you something like root 2 now gives us something like 1.4 something. So when you try to convert back, it can't give you the exact value. So all those things are rational numbers. And rational numbers cannot form fractions. This one is a little bit funny. Like the combination of all these numbers you have treated now, when you combine them, it gives you the next one, the next classification, which is the real numbers. Okay, when you look here, you see that real numbers, combination of all these numbers you have treated, the whole number, natural number, negative, integer, rational, and irrational number, when you combine them, gives you the set of real numbers. And this is a formula like an expression that you can use to know this is real numbers. And do not forget that irrational numbers, the sets of irrational numbers are denoted with something like 1 raised to 1, something like that. So the next one is the imaginary number. The imaginary number are numbers that we believe it exists, like through imagination. Take for example, when you press your calculator, root minus 1, sorry, but we believe this number exists. So like something like this, the minus root minus 1 now is imaginary number. It's normally denoted with I equals to root minus 1. I normally see this when you are solving sod. Like in sod, when you are giving minus 4, root minus 4, you say that root minus 4 is equal to minus 1 times 4, which is equal to root minus 1 times root 4, which is equal to 2i. So have you seen when this imaginary number comes in now in sod? Normally used when you are working with sod or when you are solving sod. The complex number, as the name implies, is said to be formed from a plus I b, where a and b are in form of real numbers, while the I is imaginary number. So from this we can denote that these complex numbers is a combination, like it has a relationship with real numbers and imaginary numbers. So from here we try to establish a relationship that exists between sets of numbers. If you look at this chart now, you notice that there are relationship between complex number down to the natural number. So we had that the complex number now comprising of the imaginary and real numbers. Then from real numbers, remember that from real numbers we have the rational and the irrational. Then from the rational now, we have the integers and the fractions, because rational numbers give rise to fraction because they are comprised of fractions now. Then from integers now, we have the negative and whole numbers. From whole numbers that are also the positive numbers, we have 0 and natural numbers. So this is the chart now. This is the relationship from complex number down to natural number. Then the next one is the prime numbers. We have that prime numbers are numbers that cannot be divided by any other number except itself and 1. You see, prime numbers. Okay, let's give an example. We have 2. What else can divide 2 apart from itself and 1? Nothing else. Then another one is 3. We have, okay, I'll tell you that 2 plus all odd numbers, okay, some odd numbers are prime numbers. You can even like give more examples of prime number. Like you can in your comments below give me prime numbers from 20 to 50. Give me prime numbers from 20 to 50. Then another one we have even numbers. You know, even numbers is something everybody must know. Even numbers are just numbers that when divided by 2 gives no remainder. Let's pick 50. 50 divided by 2 is 25, no remainder. Let's pick 100. 100 divided by 2 is 50, no remainder. Let's pick 2. 2 divided by itself gives you 1, no remember. So all these things are prime number. And another definition I can give you to prime number are numbers that when you remove one, you see them. You remove another one, see them. Remove another one, see them. Like here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. All these things are sets of natural numbers and also sets of whole numbers. So even numbers can also be called whole numbers that fall in between two places. Like you see 0 now. From 0 you remove 1, you see another one. After this one you remove 1, you see another one. After this you remove 1, see another one. So I was saying they fall in two places. When you see 0, you remove the next one, check the second one. The second one is an even number. You remove the third one, check the fourth one, it's an even number. So like that you go over. Or you can just bring your calculator, check for numbers that when you divide it, when they are divided by 2 gives no remainder. So all these things are even number. And that one we have the odd numbers. Okay, from this, comment below, give me what you think is an odd number. Okay, let me give you this definition. Odd numbers are just numbers that you remove to find even numbers. How do you see it? Okay, you can even say odd numbers are numbers that when they are divided by 2 gives a remainder. Gives you a remainder. Let's take 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3 remainder 1. 7 divided by 2 equals to 3 remainder 1. These are odd numbers. So let's use from the even numbers. Say now you remove 0. Sorry, from 0 you see 1, 2, 3, 4, and others now. So when you close the even numbers, what do you see? They are odd numbers. So when you close all even numbers you see in your whole numbers, then the remaining are odd numbers. So from here, I think you learned something from this video. Give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel. And do not forget to share this video with your friends. This is a very interesting topic. Just share with your friends, have fun with it, and you will become like you master it. It's come part of you. Please stay tuned. See you next week.
Niger flavor.